just know that it's gonna be a very busy year. I'm gonna be a very
Shout out
busy
to
man on
Kevo.
this YouTube platform because we are currently in the year of the skull and the crossbones, being 2023. Even writing in gematria, skull and crossbones, taking the letters and turning them into their numerical value. A being the first letter, B being the second letter, so on and so forth. You also get 223, which is the reflection of 322. Now, the year that we're in, 2023, actually marks the 322nd anniversary of Yale University, which is home of the Skull and Bones. So, we are going to be talking about a lot of death this year, a lot of death rituals, right? Now, keep in mind with that number 223, because it's interesting that the game that everyone is talking about, where this player collapsed, he's still alive, right? So we're not gonna put nothing on that man. You see what I'm saying? But nonetheless, it's still a ritual by the numbers, right? Because it happened to happen the Bills versus the Bengals. And we also get 223. Now, it's something that's been going on with a lot of NFL players recently. Right now, first, let me point out to you that Skull and Bones is also known as the Brotherhood of Death. This is why I say that we're going to be talking about a lot of death rituals. Now, the Brotherhood of Death equals 220, as does the National Football League also equals 220. And this is why you're hearing a lot of things about NFL players, right? Recently, I need y'all to watch a movie called Die Suddenly. Now, this movie talks about uh what's the best way to put this to work around the algorithm? This talks about a lot of young people dying suddenly during the pandemic. And it was noticeable when they do the autopsy on these bodies. It was noticed that a lot of young people had blood clots in their system due to the tat cream. Yeah, we gonna call it tat cream, the tattoo cream. You hear me? We gonna call it the tattoo cream. And a lot of people have been dying suddenly. So what's really going on? Especially with a lot of athletes. These are people that are more athletic, a lot more healthier than the average person. So why are we seeing now at an all-time high athletes have been dying suddenly? Now this happened either today or yesterday, that a former Purdue and NFL player dies suddenly at the age of 38, when we know that the number 38 is the number for murder, killing, death, and RIP. All of these things equal 38 in the English language, right? It's several ciphers, it's four base ciphers. These are your four main ciphers of the English language: forwards and backwards. And this is what these words are equating to. Now, it's interesting that this player specifically went on Twitter a year ago and said, okay, so let's get these tattoo cream. Let's get the tattoo cream. ASAP. We seeing children pass away daily from the from the people that don't want to get the tattoo cream, right? Pregnant women at risk too. Protect life. Mandate the tattoo cream. He says jail to anyone who refuses to protect life. And now it's just so crazy, man. I don't even want to say the irony, but this is the irony. And then, man, this hit hard right here. This tweet in response to him about learning about his passing. She tells him, I'm sorry that you were a victim of misinformation. RIP. Man, that's crazy right there. That's crazy. That response hit hard. But continuing on, man, with these athletes, these young athletes, this guy's my age, man. He has no reason in the condition that he's in to be dying suddenly. So what's going on with these people? Right? Former NFL player, and this is in the span of, this happened, he passed away. We talked about him, Jalen Ferguson. We talked about him. So this happened 2022. All these people in the year 2022 and a couple days into the year 2023. These people, these NFL players are passing away suddenly. So what's really going on? Another one in November of 2022, dying suddenly. And even in this article, of course, this isn't a mainstream article posing this type of question. Right? There was some, small, it wasn't no Fox or no CNN asking this type of question. They ain't gonna do that. Right? But now let's get to this situation. Now, I don't believe that the dying suddenly, I don't think the tattoo cream applies to this situation. I think it's something deeper to this situation. I just want to talk about that first. I just want to get that out the way first. Now let's not misconstrue what we about to talk about, what just happened, because I don't believe that we can apply that same tattoo cream situation. Now, the reason why I believe so, this situation is giving Masonic / Skull and Bones ritual. Now, it's interesting if you look at the picture of these people that's kneeling, right, for Damar, Hamlin, that collapsed in the middle of the game. Now, if you pay attention, the only player that's not kneeling is the player with the last name Neal. But not only that, he's wearing the number 33. So already that's giving me a Masonic ritual type of vibes. So let's dive in deeper. Right? So now let's hit on the numerology behind the situation. So they say at about 8:55 p.m. is when Hamlin made the tackle, when he stood up and when he fell down, when he collapsed. So at that time, the game was temporarily suspended with 5 minutes and 58 seconds left in the first quarter, which is the reflection of 8:55 p.m. So now I start scratching my noggin. Okay, let's dive deeper then. Now, if we take the span of the timeline of events from the time that the tackle was made, from the time that Hamlin collapsed, to the time that the game was officially postponed, and from the time that the NFL confirmed that Hamlin was in critical condition at a local hospital. This took a span of an hour and 6 minutes. In other words, 66 minutes. Now, what's interesting about that 66 minutes is because this transpired against the team Bengals, right, that was in the city of Cincinnati, which equals 66, along with number of the beast equaling 66. Remember, this is simply taking these letters and turning them into their numerical value. Now, the reduction cipher is simply reducing the letters with double digits to single digits, forwards and backwards. So what's the odds of that taking 66 minutes specifically in the city of Cincinnati, which equals 66? This is the team that they played. Now, if you do some diving, then you'll come across this gentleman named Chuck Hughes. Now, he is the only NFL player to die on the field during a game. Now, if we take the span of the years from him passing away on the field to Damar collapsing on the field, keep in mind, he did not pass away, but he collapsed on the field. Now, if we take the span, we get a span of 51 years, just like Chuck Hughes equals 51. But more importantly, Damar collapses 51 years after Chuck Hughes collapses in Cincinnati, which equals 51 as well. There's an interesting connection between the two. There's an interesting synchronicity between the two. Right? Now, if we write his full name, interesting enough, Charles Frederick Hughes. We write his full name. Chuck Hughes was his nickname. But I'm going to show you how they both tie in a second. Now, Charles Frederick Hughes equals 213 in the English language forwards, when we know that 213 is the number for death. 213 is satanic. Remember, this is the same number that applied to Takeoff passing away 213 days after Quavo's birthday. Remember, this is the same number that applied to Tupac, whose last album, All Eyes on Me, dropped on 2/13. Then he, quote unquote, died 213 days later. Remember, this is the same number 213 that applied to Jeffrey Damar, who lived in apartment 213 where all those deaths occurred. So we know this number 213 is the number for death. But come on. Right? Now, an interesting synchronicity between the two. Now, Damar collapsed, right? Remember, we're taking the day that he collapsed because this is the ritual. He collapsed 11 weeks and 4 days before his upcoming birthday. Remember, all of these things that happen to these people is connected to their birthdays. So we get 11 weeks and 4 days before his birthday, 114. Just like Chuck Hughes equals 114, even his full name, Charles Frederick Hughes, we also get the number 114. So it's an interesting synchronicity between these two individuals that collapsed on the field. Come on. Another synchronicity. If we take the day that Damar was born and we take it to the day that he collapsed, we get a span of 297 months. Interesting enough, the day that Chuck Hughes died on the field was the 297th day of the year. So what's really going on here? This gives me that this was more orchestrated than what it looked on the surface. NFL star Damar Hamlin still in critical condition after cardiac arrest. Now, this cardiac arrest occurred 2 months, 3 weeks, and 1 day before his upcoming birthday, just like cardiac arrest equals 231 in the English language in reverse. Interesting. 231, 213. Interesting. Now, Damar Romayel, I told y'all when I say these words and I don't know how to say these folks' names, it gonna sound like I know how to say these folks' names. Damar Romayel Hamlin. You hear me? We get 96 with the cardiac arrest that he endured. And we get the 96 forwards and backwards. So it was synchronized with his name. Now, another thing with his name, his full name. It's interesting that his full name equals 204, just like at the time of him collapsing. He's currently 24 years old when he was born on the 24th, and I didn't even plan that. I just happened to use this picture, but 213. Wow, that's crazy. But more importantly, with that 213 though, right? 21 plus 3, 24. I swear I did not plan that. I did not plan that. But come on. Another thing with his name, Damar Romayel Hamlin equals 111. And when you go onto his Instagram, he has 111 posts. So was he knowingly a part of this ritual? Even when you add it up, 1 plus 1 plus 1, you get 3, right? He was the number 3. He was number 3. And he collapsed on 3-date numerology, January 2nd. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Then on top of that, he collapsed 2 months, 22 days before his upcoming birthday, just like Order Out of Chaos equals 222, which is the 33rd degree Masonic slogan. Is this why number 33 is the only player that's standing, that's not kneeling? Kneel is the only one that's not kneeling. Is this why? Is it because this is knowingly a 33rd degree Masonic ritual? And wait a second. Did you know that? Did you know that when these players kneel, oh yeah, this is a Masonic ritual. Hold on. Because we finna bring it full circle. Now, do you know that taking that knee is actually a Masonic ritual? Taking that knee. They did the same thing with George Floyd. When that man took that knee on that man's neck, that was a ritual. Look at the tattoo on George Floyd's chest. The 33rd degree on his chest. This is a Masonic ritual in front of us, y'all. I need y'all to understand that. But continuing at number 33. Hamlin. Damar Hamlin. Hamlin's last name equals 33. Right? Draw it back to the first player ever in the NFL to pass away on the field. He passed away 33 weeks after his birthday. Look at the all-seeing eye in the background. The CBS, the all-seeing eye in the background. It's all connecting. It's all coming full circle. Right? Now, let's talk about the ritual. Because Damar collapsed 81 days before his upcoming birthday, just like Ritual and Bills, right? The team he played for, the Buffalo Bills, right? Equal 81 in the English language, forwards and backwards, right? Also with Ritual, right? 27, with it happening on a Monday, right? Monday Night Football. Monday equals 27. Buffalo equals 27, right? It happened to a Buffalo player. And what's so interesting is it happened in the Buffalo Bills' 63rd season, when Buffalo equals 63. Man, come on, man. Right? Now, this also happened 41 days before the Super Bowl, when the Super Bowl equals 41. Rituals for the Super Bowl. Right? It also happened 1 month, 1 week, and 3 days before the Super Bowl. The number for dishonesty. So, they lying about something. They being deceptive about something. Green screen, broadcasting, mainstream, perjury, not factual, not true, dishonest, divorce, bullshit, politics, illusions, disinfo, fiction, not honest, all equal 113. So what's really going on in this situation? Is it all mainstream fiction? Now, that 113 and that 41, right? Disinfo, not honest, fiction, perjury, mainstream, and dishonest equal 113 and 41. Just to drive my point home, this is why Kobe Bryant passed away at the age of 41, when Kobe Bryant equals 113 and 41. And he died in Los Angeles, California, which also equals 113 and 41. This is all mainstream bullshit. Right in front of you, by the numbers. But come on. Right? Now, once again, the day that this man collapsed was 1 month and 10 days before the Super Bowl, with skull and crossbones equals 110. And what's interesting about that is the Super Bowl is actually on a day leaving 322 days remaining, just like Skull and Bones. The Skull and Bones ritual. And I'm finna end it at 22:30. On me. Just to drive it home. I ain't even playing that.